All right, Graham, lay it on us. Give me a couple of the pet peeves you heard around the table. You started with a person's name. All right. Shh. I'm skipping that table because they're rude. All right. Dimitri. Shh. Go ahead. Shh. Quiet. Quiet, guys. Paper straws are terrible. Hold on, guys. So let's make a rule real quick. After Fuse, we'll get together and be like, oh, that was my worst pet peeve too. But like when you react to every single one, we can't hear it. So this is like, hold your applause till the end kind of deal. Okay, all right. Being left on red. Yeah? Right, okay. Shh. Someone saying okay? Yeah. Are y'all the generation that because I'm going to do that to you for sure. Are y'all the generation that requires an exclamation point, not a period? Like, do you think I'm mad at you if I put a period? Okay. Y'all ought to just grow up. Okay, all right, Dara. All right, shh. It's the high schoolers. No, I'm asking y'all to be quiet, not louder. Okay, Dara. Yeah, you can take a minute. Go ahead.
Okay, so bad drivers.
Bad drivers, yes. Is there a particular kind of bad driver? Shh, we're doing it again. People in cyber trucks. Listen. Someone may come from a family who owns a cyber truck here. We love you and we're here for you, so quit being rude. Okay. Y'all personalize your pet peeves a little too much. Okay. Hold on. One per table is kind of what I was after. So I know I pointed at you, so I'm going to grandfather you in here, but go ahead. Slow walkers in the hallway. All right. Okay. Or slow walkers in general. Okay. Shh. We're going to go back to Dara. Shh. When people what? Touch you for no reason? Shh. Hey guys in the back. Thank you. I didn't understand what you said. Moving on. All right. Back table. Shh. Brain rot, like when someone displays brain rot or when someone uses that word. Yeah, that's been my pet peeve for about the last 20 years. Is just y'all's slang that keeps changing. Okay, shh. None of us can hear her. Let's all do each other a favor and be respectful. When people smack their food. I'm going to be honest, I'm around some people who smack their food. I was with someone the other day who was just like, yeah, and then? And I was just like, I don't know why you feel like you have to do that, but yeah, that's a good one. Okay, so we're doing one per table, so we're going to move on. Ella. Ask you for gum, okay, all right. Bring your own, right? Okay. Okay. Shh. Marcus? No. Can you elaborate? Did you say no toilet paper? So pause. We're going to investigate. Marcus, hold on. Shh. We all want to hear what he's... Say more. Stand up and project. Let's all listen. Okay. Judah, thank you. It's not helping. No. That's not elaborating. That's repeating. So like when you're sitting on the toilet and you're out and that's like your pet. Okay. I didn't think you were making a sandwich. It's like, no toilet paper. We all knew. Did we have to say the word? Okay. Which is your fault, so your pet peeve is yourself for not checking, right? Boom, roasted. All right. Shh, quiet, we're moving on.
Know-it-alls are when people don't flush the toilet.
Know-it-alls are when people don't flush the toilet. We're on a toilet theme here. Know-it-alls, okay? Yeah? All right, Joanna. Shh. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. We did one per table. Y'all's table's done. Okay, I think Reed is the last one. Oh, sorry, my bad.
When you have to help your grandfather, when you have to help your grandfather call someone else because he doesn't know how to.
Okay. So, Reed, if I can just help you, that's only going to get worse. Because ask any adult, how many of us have been tech support for our parents? Yeah. Welcome to the club. Okay. Shh, one more.
And then when your family always asks you how old you are on your birthday and they know how old you are.
Okay. Does anyone share that pet peeve? Like, I don't like to be you know how old I am. Okay. All right. All right. Who's, I feel like it's Gloria. Go ahead.
Okay, so whenever someone says, like, they have something to tell me, and I'm like, okay, tell me. And then they're like, okay, never mind.
Oh, that's the worst. Or if they say, I can't tell you right now, I got to tell you later. So then you just got to sit with it. So the adult version of that is when our boss tells us that we have to have a conversation at the end of the day. That's like, well, I'm going to pack up my office because I believe I've been fired. Anyone else? Just me? Cool. I do something fireable every single day. It is kind of sad. I'm not joking. Like, I cry myself to sleep at night. Just kidding. Okay. Shh. One more. Milk before cereal. Okay, hold on. What was the first thing you said? High maintenance. Thank you. So milk before cereal. Do people do that? So like I'm gonna go for a second bowl, which is milk before cereal. Anyone second bowler? Yeah, third bowl, right? Yeah, a bowl of cereal at night, even after you've eaten dinner, fantastic. Yeah, cool. Some of my pet peeves. I would love to hear some adults too. I think one of my biggest pet peeves is literally people don't know how to behave in public. And usually it's HEB. So at HEB, there's a couple forms of it. At HEB, there's the people that, so HEB has like one-way lanes, right? And so when someone tries to go in the wrong way, it causes kind of a mass hysteria. Then there's the people, and I guarantee, because I see this every time I go to HEB, so some of this is y'all's parents, and I'm just gonna talk trash on them right now, okay? And you're just gonna deal with it. And if you do this, you can get out. People, Chris is like, I do all the bad things. I'm already leaving. Really?
Yes, the HEB people, I'm like, dude, you go this way, just like on
Inside or outside? Or both? So if you walk down the middle of the aisle slowly, outside or inside? So here's the real problem. It's people that park up at the front like they're special, okay? And they put their flashers on, and it's not like there's 8 lanes to get around them, right? And so and then they're waiting on someone to come out or whatever, anyway. I think is anyone with me? Okay, now, let's have a share moment for a second. Which one of you as parents does that, okay? Let's out them right now. Dutka? No way. Bettis? You're an idiot. So I said, any one of your parents did that? He raises his hand. And I said, Bettis? And he goes, I don't know what you're saying. I'm just raising my hand, which is just a whole new form of stupidity that I don't know what to do with. Yeah, like it's awful. It's awful. Slow walkers. I try to be polite, but I got to be honest. I am the most frustrated person in the world when I'm behind a cart. Yeah. Hold on.
It's like the driving in the wrong
Yeah.
way because you're entitled. Dropping my kids off at school, you have to wait.
Uh-oh.
in line,
Uh-oh.
right?
Uh-oh.
You gotta wait your turn. There are parents who swerve around.
You do that too.
No, I do.
Yeah. So in all honesty, no one in here trusts Graham. He just wanted that gotcha moment because I trust Amy over Graham 10 times out of 10. I'll tell you what, people do it up here because I work right here on Sienna Ranch and who's the Baines Middle School people, okay? So stop it. When is the Baines Thornton game? It's coming up. Did it just happen? 24-7, who won? Thornton? Okay, congratulations. Let's get over it. We're gonna talk about anger in a second, so you're gonna check yourself, okay? Do you have something? Okay, shh. Dimitri.
My pet peeve is when people park on the line or over the line.
Yeah? Yeah, you just triggered Caleb. Okay. So, how many of you have ever gotten mad at one of your pet peeves, maybe just a little too much? Yeah. To the point. How many of you got mad a little too much when the pet peeve happened and you're like, to the point that you recognized? Have you ever come to the point where you recognize, like, I don't know why I'm this crazy right now, but I'm like dialing it up on like all the way, and really, this is not that big of a deal. Y'all are so rude and you're all deleted. So, here's what I want to ask. Anger, it often happens. It often happens because you were provoked, because something happened. Oftentimes you find yourself in a good mood and then this thing happens and you can turn on a dime. Here's what I want to talk to you about is, what does Jesus have to say about it? Did Jesus ever get angry? What does Jesus say to the people that got angry? And then what do we do? Is something wrong with us when we got angry? And I think there's kind of a complicated answer. Now, if I can just remind us kind of where we are. We're in the study on the Sermon on the Mount, and Jesus is going to give us all this really hyper-practical stuff. Anger is hyper-practical, and sometimes we do a lesson, you're like, I don't even struggle with that. And I just got to be honest, like, anger is on all of our lists. It's just something that we all deal with. And so if I can remind you of where we've been the last few weeks, basically, we start off, Jesus is teaching. He's kind of teaching to the down and outers, and he's talking about blessed are you when you're persecuted, blessed are you when you mourn, blessed are you when you go through difficult times. So here's the thing. He's telling all these stories. He's saying, this is a picture of the good life. This isn't like A plus B equals the good life. He was just saying, if you pay attention, there's some people that are bringing the kingdom, and they're not the big highfalutin, like successful people that you think. Like, they're the people that are dialed into the kingdom, and the kingdom is often in the low places, the humbled places, not in the exalted places. And so what he's going to say then, because he's like introducing himself as this authority, was one of the last things that we said last week, is he said, I didn't come to abolish or tear down the law and the prophets, right? Or what we know as the first half of the Bible called the Old Testament. He said, I didn't come to tear that down. I came to fulfill it. And so what we know now, because we're looking back 2,000 years to when he said this, is that, yeah, we can trust this Jesus. He's going to eventually, 3 years later, die. He's going to rise again. And then, he's going to ascend into heaven. He's going to send the Holy Spirit. All this stuff. He's a trustworthy, he is the Son of God. But at that point, there are some people listening, and they were like, hey, listen, it sure sounds like you're trying to tear down the law and the prophets. And what's interesting is, Jesus, watch with me here. He says, I'm not going to come down to abolish the law and the prophets, but I'm going to come and fulfill it. And then he's going to give 6 examples of like righteousness is what I've described it as. Remember righteousness? What was the definition for righteousness? Anybody remember? You had it last week. Having a right relationship with God and a right relationship with others. Okay? If you've got that, right, and none of us are going to be perfect, but if you're pursuing after a right relationship with God, right, we're surrendered to him, we've got the word of God guiding us and everything, and then we're applying that even to our life with people, which sometimes obviously the pet peeves are flying, right? And so even when there's pet peeves, we're loving our neighbor, right? We're not treating them with disrespect or disdain. So here's what Jesus says. All this righteousness that I'm talking about, I'm going to give you 6 examples. And they're literally like case studies. And the first one is on anger, okay? Verse 21, he's going to start off and he's going to say, you've heard it said that you should not murder. You should not murder, okay? You've heard it said to our ancestors is what it says. And who knows where he's coming from on that? It's verse 21. What is he quoting? It's super easy. Yeah. What are those things called? 10 Commandments. Yes, exactly. You were 99% of the way there. It's a good job. So, hey, Brian, can you put up verse 21 for us? So he's going to say, you heard it said that you shouldn't murder, right? And congratulations if you've kept that commandment, man, congratulations. Lots of us have been like, well, I've done some bad stuff, but I've never killed somebody. Do not murder, and whoever murders will be subject to judgment. No one's like, I'm so surprised. This is crazy. Jesus' new teaching, right? It's crazy. But verse 22, he's going to kind of flip it on him. He's going to say, but I say, everyone who's angry with his brother or sister will be subject to that judgment. Whoever insults his brother or sister will be subject to the court. Whoever says, you fool, will be subject to hellfire. Now, Jesus is getting pretty like high level on this, like, because here's the deal. We've all done this. This is us. This is us. In fact, I just poured out my heart before you. Like when someone drives wrong at HEB or walks slow at HEB, like I might even be listening to a sermon. I stop listening to the sermon. I'm just like, this person, just get out the way. It's full. You're just kind of angry, right? You're just angry. And it just like, you rage out of nowhere. And he's like, you've heard it said, don't murder. Congratulations, right? If you've kept that commandment. But I say, which is interesting that he does that because what did he just get done saying? I did not come down to tear down the law and the prophets, but I've come to fulfill it. So what is he doing right now? Does it kind of seem like, hey, back table, can y'all chill? Does it kind of seem like he's changing the law? I hear murmuring. Can y'all help me out? Is that y'all? So I love it, but it's like the rest of us can hear it, and so it's a little distracting. So let's all focus, and then I'd love for you to continue reading the Bible when Fuse is over. I love it. It's a right kind of distraction, I guess. So verse 22, it seems like he's tearing down the law and the prophets. Is Jesus a liar? No. How do you know that to be true? He's God. Yeah? Do you think everyone believes that Jesus is not a liar? So I would imagine if you had this conversation with someone at your lunch table tomorrow and you said like, hey, what do you think? Does it seem like maybe he switched it on them? Maybe it seemed like he switched it on them a little bit. But here's what I think Jesus is doing. Jesus is pointing to a deeper righteousness. What's that word mean? Yes, right relationship with God, right relationship with others. Isn't it interesting that his first case study is relating rightly to other people just by virtue of we're not going to call people foolish. We're not going to. It's really like the anger that starts in the heart. I'm going to read the rest, 23 through 26, and then we'll kind of finish up here. So if you're offering your gift on the altar, so this is interesting. He's going to like give you an example. of how important this is. If you're offering a gift on the altar and there you remember that your brother or sister has something against you, pause, not that you have something against them. That's not what Jesus is saying, that someone has something against you. Now, I could have you raise your hand, but we got a little personal in here. But if you were in here and you just kind of quietly would say like, yeah, like I think there's someone that's mad at me for something. And then out of that crew, half of you might say, but it's not my fault. But the other half would be like, yeah, I did them dirty. I said something ugly. I talked about it behind their back. Like they have something against me. Everyone will have something against you at some point this year. You can't go through life without having people mad at you. You understand that? I actually felt as a teenager, like I bet I can crack that code. And I got to tell you, you can't crack that code. Because even if you are the best person on the planet, someone's going to be mad at you for something. So here's what he's going to say. If you've done something dirty and someone's got something against you, you're at the altar, leave your gift there in front of the altar. Leave it. First, go and be reconciled with your brother or sister, and then come offer your gift. That's how important this is to Jesus. Let me just be hyper specific. Can I get all eyes on me for a second? I think that our idea is that when we go to church and we all want to be focused on the lesson, we all want to be focused on the songs, we want to be focused on our relationship with God and our worship, and like your parents would be so proud of you if you went to church and 100% focused the whole time. Your parents would be so proud of you. Here's what Jesus is saying. This is so important that if you have something that's not been reconciled in your heart or their heart, you need to stop all that. Or in other words, it would, you ready for me to step on your toes? It would be fake of you to continue worshiping, knowing that you're not reconciled with someone. Now, how important is that right relationship with others now? Jesus is putting on full display. Your righteousness, it matters, right? And I'm just telling you, you've been like, as long as I don't murder someone, I'm good, because it's in the 10 Commandments that way, right? I'm not working on the Sabbath. I'm not envying, whatever. But here's what Jesus is doing. He's saying it's all about the heart. It's always been about the heart. I'm going to say that every single fuse because I want you to get it and I want you to remember it. It's always been about the heart. So don't sit there and just act all Christian if someone's got something against you. You go be reconciled. Maybe the most beautiful thing that could ever happen, and I mean this with my soul, maybe the most beautiful thing that could happen is if you are here on Sunday or Wednesday and you know you've got unreconciled differences or someone's mad at you or you're mad at them or there's something going on, that you would stop in the middle and you would go pull them aside and you go apologize to them. And I want to tell you, I just want to be so honest with you, and some of you are bumping your neighbor, whatever, focus with me for a second. You don't have many good examples of adults apologizing to each other. Adults have pretty much decided, like, I'm going to be right. You're not going to make me look stupid in front of people. You're not going to make me look stupid in front of the public. You're not going to make me act like I'm wrong. Adults are really bad at apologizing, right? I think our leaders in any circuit are bad at apologizing. You know what Jesus is all about? Again, there's this upside down kingdom here. He's saying it'd be more important for you. I know you're thinking your right relationship with God is the first, so I'm going to finish this and then I'm going to go. He says, leave it at the altar and go fix it with them. Because you know what's interesting? What does Jesus know? You're at the altar, you're trying to worship. Maybe you're even pushing through and you're like, I know that this thing is wrong, but we're just gonna kind of keep going. What's that other person doing? They're sitting in the sanctuary stewing. And they've got a block on their worship. And wouldn't it be beautiful? And don't you want to be a part of a church where people know how to apologize and reconcile with each other? That's what Jesus is after. No one wants to be a part of a fake church, but no one's brave enough to be a part of this kind of church. So I'm just saying, Jesus is after something, and it's heavy. I understand it's heavy. I understand apologizing is difficult. I understand reconciling is not the easiest thing. No one wakes up in the morning and says, you know what I want to do? I want to go have a difficult conversation with someone. No one, right? It's like, how easy can this day go for me? I want to choose that. So he's going to say, leave the altar, right? First, go and be reconciled with your brother and sister. Then come offer your gift. Let me actually just kind of switch gears here for a second. I read a verse in James today. It's not going to be on the screen. I just wanted to share this with you. This is as practical as James chapter 1, verse 19. This is the half-brother of Jesus talking. My dear brothers and sisters, understand this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger. And then check this out, slow to anger. For human anger does not accomplish God's righteousness. Did you check that out? Human anger does not accomplish God's righteousness. So let me just ask you a quick question. Is anger a sin? So we're guessing. It's 50% chance. Yes. So give me 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes to explain a deep theological concept. It's great. The answer is no. The answer is no. You know why? Jesus was angry. Jesus was angry. Let me show you a quick verse. Ephesians 4:26. This is Paul talking. Very simple. Straight and to the point. Be angry and do not sin. Be angry and do not sin. In fact, don't let the sun go down on your anger. You know what that means? That means if it's like nighttime and you're like, I'll just talk to him tomorrow. Don't let the sun go down on your anger. Like, call him now. Go apologize now. Go reconcile now. There's a difference between righteous anger and unrighteous anger. Righteous anger, like, is there a time where I'm allowed to be angry because God's way is not happening on this planet? I can be angry about that. The one time that comes to mind that Jesus was angry, does anybody remember? He walks in the temple, he sees him, I know you know it, he sees him turning it into what he calls a den of thieves. Like they're selling stuff. It's a house of worship, and they've turned it into a merch store, right? They've turned it into a place to make money. To make money off of, and here's what's crazy, they're selling stuff that people need to worship. Things like lambs, things like the unblemished lamb, things like that. And they're selling it at a high cost. Why? Because they know they have to have it, right? And so what does Jesus do? He literally turns the tables over, and he's running through and he's yelling. He's like, you've turned my house into a den of thieves. Jesus was angry. Did Jesus sin? Jesus was sinless. It's possible to be angry and yet not sin. Now, can I just say, for all of you that thought anger was a sin, 98% of our anger is sinful, probably, right? Because what happened? I got cut off in traffic, and I'm like, this is not unrighteous. This is not righteous anger. Like, I should just take a chill pill and relax. It's difficult. I'm not going to be perfect. You're not going to be perfect. But the difference in all of this, and if I can just say this next 30 seconds, and then I'll dismiss you. I think what Jesus is getting after here, because it was, why does he go straight to murder? I think he goes to murder for a couple reasons. He said, if you think you're safe because you've never murdered anyone, congratulations. Let me just boil it down to your heart level right now, okay? Everyone has committed murder in our heart because we felt unrighteous anger towards someone. That is the same as murdering them. I actually read someone who's smarter than me explained it this way. Focus, 10 seconds. When you hate someone, you harbor bitterness and hatred in your heart. The idea of murder there is like, I have assigned that this person has no value or no worth. And so I'm just treating them like trash. But everyone deserves respect and love and dignity because they've been made in the image of God just like you. Everyone. You do too. There's going to be a moment that you need worth and dignity and love and forgiveness and friendship. We all need it. But sometimes we like hold ourselves high and lofty like we're the judge. And none of us, there's only one judge. There's only one king. So I'm just saying, this is one of those moments where Jesus is saying, righteousness, right relationship with God, right relationship with others. You think it's about the 10 Commandments and murder? It's about something deeper than that. Murder at its worst, right, is 10 out of 10 bad, right? It starts in the heart. And it could turn into 1 out of 10 telling a little white lie about someone. And in God's eyes, in the kingdom, those two things are the same. Because you've harbored bitterness and anger and bitterness like in your heart against someone, and he doesn't want that. So here's my request. is for you to just kind of take inventory when you hear it, or when you feel it, when you see it, when you feel that thing rise up in you where that unrighteous anger shows up, and take a second to give it to God and lay it on the cross, okay? We're going to talk about so many more of these. I'm going to pray for you. We'll be dismissed. Heavenly Father, thank you. Thank you for just the grace. You have given us a perfect example in Jesus, and we fail that every single day. But Lord, thank you for not turning your back on us. But even though we would flip out on people in traffic or in the hallways at school or at home, well, thank you so much for that. Lord, I pray that these things would lead us to you, not to like a desire for perfection in ourselves, but just gratitude for the sacrifice that you made on our behalf, even while we were steeped in sin. So thank you for that, Lord. It's in your name we pray. Amen.